you can still get free land in America. Not monopoly land, not a swamp with a pet alligator, but actual build a house, drink coffee on your porch land. And towns aren't just offering it, they're practically begging you to take it. Here's the twist. While the rest of the country is locked in bidding wars for $500,000 condos with kitchens smaller than your fridge, there are 17 towns handing out lots like Costco samples. Some throw in cash bonuses, others offer tax breaks, and at least one will literally throw you a parade just for showing up. But there's a catch. Actually, 17 of them. Some hilarious, some frustrating, and some so bizarre you'll think I made them up. Want land with a haunted oak tree? Done. How about a baby bonus program where childbirth comes with a paycheck? Yep, that's real. We're counting down 17 US towns basically giving away land right now, and trust me, you're not ready for number 7. Number 17, Monessen, Pennsylvania. Monessen isn't just giving away land. They're basically daring you to become a home renovation hero in a half-abandoned steel town. The population dropped 10% in the last decade. About 1 inch 10 homes were abandoned. The city's deal? Wipe out all the back taxes on certain properties if you promise to renovate them. But here's the catch. Your rehab has to be worth at least 3 times the forgiven tax bill. Sounds simple until you realize you have to track down the current owners first. Yep, like a real-life episode of Property Brothers, Ghosted Edition. One guy on Reddit called it the world's weirdest scavenger hunt, except the prize is a house with raccoons for roommates. Imagine this. You finally find the owner, sign the papers, and now you're sipping coffee in a house you got for the price of elbow grease. The only problem? The bathroom has raccoon paw prints on the ceiling. Don't ask how. If that sounds complicated, wait until you see the next town, where the land comes free, but the winters are so brutal, even your eyelashes will freeze. Number 16, Harmony, Minnesota. Harmony, Minnesota truly lives up to its name, but in the most bizarrely wholesome way possible. This tiny town of around 1,000 people is offering free residential lots if you're willing to build a house within a year. Sounds straightforward, right? Until you realize this is the kind of place where chaos doesn't exist. The loudest thing you'll hear is birds, or maybe a tree that locals swear actually hums in the wind. The stats are solid. Median home price around $148,000, rent about $675, cost of living 21% lower than average, fiber internet? Yep. Violent crime? Basically non-existent. It's safe enough that people wave at stop signs and probably at you too, whether they know you or not. One Reddit user described Harmony as real-life Animal Crossing minus Tom Nook plus actual pie. Picture this, snow blanketing your yard, a neighbor drops off banana bread, and somewhere nearby, a tree starts to sing. But before you get too cozy, brace yourself. Our next town will hand you land for $1 and a blizzard for free. Number 15, Buffalo, New York. Buffalo, New York isn't just handing out wings and snowstorms, it's also dishing out land for basically the price of a vending machine snack. Through its Urban Homestead program, you can scoop up a vacant lot for a single $1. Yep, $1 plus closing costs, and it's yours. The catch? You've got to actually build something on it within 12 months, live there for at least 3 years, and convince the city you're not just winging it with graph paper and dreams. Buffalo's not some sleepy village either. It's a city of over 250,000 with a gritty, growing energy. Median home price hovers around $147,500, making it one of the more affordable big city markets. Unemployment's lower than you'd think, crime's not terrible, and the food scene is legendary if you're into sauce-drenched existential bliss. Picture this, you buy a $1 lot, sketch your future house, and by next winter, you're sipping hot cocoa while a lake-effect snowstorm buries your car in 11 feet of powder. Charming? Absolutely. Practical? Questionable. And if you think Buffalo is bold, wait till you meet a Colorado town giving away 480 acres. Number 14, Flagler, Colorado. Flagler, Colorado isn't messing around. This tiny farming town about 110 miles east of Denver got hold of nearly 480 acres after buying up a few water wells, and now they're giving chunks of that land away. But here's the kicker. How much you get depends on how many jobs your business creates. Translation, you can't just roll in with a food truck and call it good. They're serious about this. You need a detailed business plan, 3 years of tax returns, financials, a credit application, and oh yeah, a $10 per acre deposit once approved. And even then, you'll have to pitch your idea to the town council while 650 locals sit in on a public hearing like it's the Shark Tank of the prairie. Picture this, you finally get approved, start building your dream company, and then realize you're also in charge of putting in utilities. No water, no power, just a whole lot of dirt and ambition. If that sounds intense, wait until you hear about the Kansas town where the land is free, but the wind might actually blow your house into Missouri. Number 13, Lincoln, Kansas. Lincoln, Kansas is the kind of place where free land comes with one big condition. You've got to build right now. This town of just over 1,100 people calls itself the post-rock capital of Kansas, which sounds like a music festival, but actually refers to limestone fence posts. Their free home site program gives you a vacant lot, full utilities included on a hill overlooking endless prairie. Price tag, 0. The catch, you must start construction within 6 months and finish in 8. And don't get clever. With tiny homes or shipping container experiments, they only want single-family houses. Still, the numbers are tempting. Median home price, $82,000. Median rent, $500. Cost of living nearly 30% below average, and violent crime so rare it barely registers. Picture this, wide streets with no traffic, neighbors waving at stop signs, and your new house rising above golden wheat fields. Peaceful, affordable, simple. Until, of course, the wind hits. Kansas wind doesn't just blow, it launches your lawn chair into the next county. And if you think that's quirky, wait until you see the town that pioneered free land giveaways before it was cool. Number 12, Marquette, Kansas. Marquette, Kansas isn't just giving away land, it basically invented the free land movement. Back in 2003, this little prairie town carved up 50 acres of farmland into free residential lots, and people jumped on them faster than a Black Friday sale at Walmart. Within the first year, 21 plots were gone. Today, the town has around 600 residents, many of whom came chasing that promise of small town peace, wide skies, and 0 traffic. Here's the deal. Lots are free in the Westridge. Addition on the western edge of town, build a house of at least 1,000 square feet and you're in. The vibe, think friendly, affordable, relaxed, safe, and so quiet you'll actually hear yourself think. Median listing price sits around $85,000, which is less than some people pay for a Tesla. Picture this, you're grilling on your back porch, neighbors wave as they stroll by, and the loudest sound in town is a screen door slamming shut. No Starbucks, no chaos, no problem. But don't get too cozy, our next stop is a Minnesota town that bans fences, limits house size, and still somehow feels like utopia. Number 11, New Richland, Minnesota. New Richland, Minnesota doesn't just hand out free land, it tells you how big your house can be once you build it. This town of about 1,200 people, 90 miles south of Minneapolis, runs on an unusual philosophy. Keep it cozy. Their program gives away free residential lots, but with strings attached. No McMansions, no giant show-off houses, and fences, forget it. They're banned. The goal is to build a community, not a compound. Economically, it makes sense. Median home price around $150,000. Average rent, $750. Cost of living, 18% below the national average. Violent crime, basically non-existent. Broadband internet? Yes, somehow. A Reddit user described moving here, building a normal house, making friends at Lawn Chair Fridays, and being aggressively encouraged to wave at everyone. Picture this. You step outside with your coffee, wave to 6 neighbors before you even hit the curb, and watch kids ride bikes past homes all built to the same friendly scale. It's calm, charming, almost Netflix series wholesome. But if you think free land and a fence ban are unusual, wait until you hear about the Nebraska town that literally pays you to have babies. Number 10, Elwood, Nebraska. Elwood, Nebraska isn't just dangling free land, they're practically bribing you to settle down and start a family. This little village of about 700 people sits near the Elwood Reservoir, a quiet stretch of water perfect for fishing, kayaking, or just questioning your life choices. The town's deal is simple. They'll give you a free residential lot if you build a home, but the kicker? Up to $5,000 for every child born and raised locally. Yes, they've literally monetized childbirth. The economics are wild. Median home price? Around $15,000 less than a used Honda Civic. Median rent? About $540 a month. Cost of living? A full 28% below the national average. Crime rate? Almost non-existent. Locals joke that the only danger is tripping over a garden hose. Most jobs are in agriculture, education, or commuting to nearby towns like Holdrege or Lexington. Picture this. You're sitting on your porch watching the wind whip across the prairie, your kids playing in the yard, and a neighbor drops off fresh eggs while reminding you that your newborn just earned you $5,000. But if baby bonuses sound quirky, wait until you meet the Nebraska town that greets new residents with an actual parade. Number 9, Curtis, Nebraska. Curtis, Nebraska takes the concept of welcome to town and cranks it up to Hallmark levels. This little community of about 800 people doesn't just give you a free residential lot, they throw you an actual parade when you move in. Yes, the Curtis Land Incentive Program offers free plots if you build a home within a year, and the town makes a big deal out of every new resident. Imagine showing up with a U-Haul and suddenly you're the guest of honor in a marching band lineup. The stats back up the charm. Median home price sits around $100,000, average rent about $550, and the cost of living is roughly 26% below the US average. Violent crime? Almost non-existent. The biggest headline in recent years was about a raccoon loose in the school library. Jobs are mostly in agriculture, small businesses, or commuting to larger nearby towns. Picture this. You check your mailbox and hear the sound of drums. Turns out the parade is for you. Sweet, awkward, and undeniably memorable. And if you thought that was quirky, wait until you hear about the Iowa town where free land comes with tax breaks and modern perks. Number 8, Manila, Iowa. Manila, Iowa isn't just giving away land, it's rolling out a whole suburban starter pack. This little city, about 100 miles west of Des Moines, is in phase 2 of its Sunrise Edition project, where free residential lots are up for grabs. The rules? Build a single-family home within a year and actually live there. Pretty simple. To sweeten the deal, the city throws in waived utility hookup fees and a 5-year 100% property tax abatement. Translation? You'll save thousands while everyone else is drowning in closing costs. The numbers are friendly too. Manila has around 700 residents, a safe, quiet atmosphere, and a cost of living about 25% below the national average. Housing costs are low, crime rates are negligible, and the community is actively trying to attract new families. 22 homes have already been built, with a few prime lots still waiting for takers. Picture this. You're moving into a brand new house on a lot that cost you $0, no hookup fees, and no property tax bill for half a decade. That's basically the Midwest version of winning the lottery. But if that sounds generous, wait until you meet the Nebraska town giving away land and claiming it comes with ghosts. Number 7, Beatrice, Nebraska. Beatrice, Nebraska is proof that history repeats itself, in this case, the Homestead Act. Back in 2010, this town of just under 12,000 people rebooted the pioneer spirit with a modern twist: free land. The deal is straightforward: build a house on one of their empty lots, live in it for at least a year, and the land is yours. No rent, no mortgage, just the joys of Midwestern winters and small town life. On paper, Beatrice looks like a steal. Median home price is about $125,000, median rent hovers near $700, and the cost of living is a comfy 23% below the national average. Crime rates are lower than the US average, unemployment's steady, and the town has the kind of safe, predictable vibe where Dairy Queen counts as nightlife. But Beatrice has quirks. It's home to the famously haunted Paddock Mansion, where locals swap ghost stories about lights flickering and a spirit in overalls politely evicting visitors. Picture this. You build your dream house, shovel your way through knee-deep snow, and realize your only real neighbors are cornfields and maybe a ghost. But if you think that's chilling, wait until you see the Illinois town where free land comes with a reimbursement twist. Number 6, Grafton, Illinois. Grafton, Illinois isn't handing out land for free. Exactly, it's more like a rebate program with a scenic twist. Here's how it works. You buy a lot in the Grafton Hills subdivision for about $5,000. Build a home within 3 years, follow the city's building codes, and once you're done, the city reimburses you the entire lot cost. End result, you've got a brand new house on land that was effectively free. The setting doesn't hurt either. Grafton sits along the Great River Road where the Illinois and Mississippi rivers meet, surrounded by bluff views and riverfront charm. It's famous for outdoor attractions like Pere Marquette State Park, zipline tours, and riverboat cruises. Median home prices hover around $230,000 higher than some other towns on this list, but you're paying for a location that feels more resort than rural. Picture this, you're sipping wine at one of Grafton's hillside wineries, watching barges drift down the river, knowing the ground beneath your feet didn't cost you a dime. Not bad for a rebate. And if that sounds clever, wait until you see the Iowa town where the post office runs 1 hour a day, but the land is free. Number 5, Marne, Iowa. Marne, Iowa is proof that sometimes the best things in life really are free like land. This village of about 120 people in Cass County is tiny, quiet, and almost impossible to spot on a map. But if you're willing to build a house, Marne will hand you a standard residential lot, usually 80 by 120 feet, for $0. The only rule, your new home has to be at least 1,200 square feet and finished within 18 months. Here's the trade-off. Marne doesn't exactly come with big city amenities. No grocery store, no school, not even a gas station. The post office is open 1 hour a day, and nightlife is basically porch sitting or watching fireflies. Median home prices are around $88,000. Cost of living is 30% below the US average, and crime is almost non-existent. But most jobs require commuting to Atlantic or working remotely. Picture this, you own a mortgage-free home on land you never paid for, your neighbors wave from a quarter mile away, and the loudest sound after dark is a chorus of crickets. Simple? Yes. Boring? Maybe, but the price is unbeatable. And next up, a Nebraska town where free land comes with UFO sightings and pierogies. Number 4, Loup City, Nebraska. Loup City, Nebraska mixes pierogies, prairie, and believe it or not, UFO sighting. This town of about 1,000 people has deep Polish roots, complete with annual festivals, kielbasa, and polka bands. But beyond the heritage and small town charm, Loup City also offers free residential lots to anyone willing to build a house. The deal is straightforward. Apply through the city's website, get approved, and start construction within the agreed timeline. No gimmicks, just an honest attempt to attract new families and stop population decline. The numbers make it tempting. Median home price hovers around $125,000, average rent about $600, and the cost of living is nearly 30% below the national average. Crime? Almost non-existent. Job opportunities lean on farming, small businesses, and regional services. But remote work fits right in. The town is quiet, welcoming, and occasionally weird. Locals have reported mysterious lights in the sky, fueling its reputation as Nebraska's unofficial UFO hotspot. Picture this. You're sitting on your porch, eating homemade pierogies when the horizon glows just a little too bright. Alien invasion or northern lights? Either way, your land was free. Next up, Kansas, where free lots come with interviews and a ticking clock. Number 3, Mankato, Kansas. Mankato, Kansas might be small, fewer than 1,000 people, but it's big on opportunity if you're hunting for free land. The city has around 26 residential lots available, and all they ask is that you actually build a home and become part of the community. Sounds easy, but here's the twist. Before you get that plot, you'll need pre-approval from a bank and an interview with the city council. Yep, they want to make sure you're financially ready and not just showing up with Pinterest boards and pipe dreams. The rules are clear. Houses must be at least 1,200 square feet, construction has to start within 6 months, and you can't drag your feet. Median home prices in the area sit around $87,000, rents average $550, and the cost of living is nearly 30% below the national average. It's safe, quiet, and very Midwestern neighbors wave. The air smells like wheat, and time moves slowly. Picture this. You're sipping coffee while your new house rises on land that cost you nothing, surrounded by silence, broken only by the wind. Up next, Maine, where free land comes bundled with coastal charm and biting black flies. Number 2, Camden, Maine. Camden, Maine looks like it was designed for a Hallmark Christmas movie. Harbors dotted with sailboats, tree-lined streets, and a vibe that screams quaint coastal charm. But beneath the postcard views is an offer that sounds too good to be true. Free land and up to $35,000 in perks for remote workers who relocate here. Camden participates in Maine's relocation incentives, which include grants, tax credits, and in some nearby towns, even free building lots. Here's the flip side. Camden is stunning, but it's not cheap. Median home prices hover around $725,000, rents average $2,000 a month, and good luck finding an apartment in summer, it's Airbnb Hunger Games. The cost of living is high, the job market leans heavily toward tourism, art, and boutique businesses, and black flies? They bite through denim. Still, with tax breaks, relocation grants, and nearby free land lots, the math can work for some. Picture this. You're drinking coffee on a bluff overlooking the Atlantic, sourdough starter thriving, while a golden retriever named Captain guards the only free parking spot in town. Gorgeous? Yes. Affordable? Depends on how much you like lobster rolls. Up next, Tulsa, where free land meets $10,000 cash. Number 1, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa, Oklahoma isn't just dangling cash to lure new residents, it's also handing out land in parts of its metro area. Once the oil capital of America, Tulsa has reinvented itself with the Tulsa Remote Program, offering $10,000 grants to remote workers willing to relocate. But here's the twist. In satellite towns like Red Fork and Sand Springs, some lots are literally free if you commit to building a home. Cash plus dirt, that's a package deal. The numbers are surprisingly solid. Median home price sits around $190,000, median rent about $1,050, and the cost of living is 11% below the US average. Tulsa has fast internet co-working spaces, even robot coffee carts. But it also has quirks. Drivers treat stop signs as emotional suggestions, and the violent crime index is roughly double the national average. Oh, and the weather? 4 seasons in 1 week. Tornado Tuesday, hail on Wednesday, and by Friday, it's hot enough to fry an egg on your driveway. Picture this. You're sipping coffee on your porch, no mortgage, chickens in the backyard, and you actually got paid to be there. Wild? Absolutely. Worth it? That's for you to decide. You just made it through 17 towns, basically giving away land. Which one's got you packing boxes? Drop your pick in the comments.